So there, again, you saw how dynamic movement, even on something as a broken pot, really helps sell the image. So you want to practice that. And one of the things that you want to do, and again, people try to get so much done. If you did nothing more than just shot 20 minutes of the pot, of the divers approaching the pot, all of a sudden now you're going to have a lot of material post to really edit in a great scene. But if you think you only got it on one take, you never do it in one take. You always need to take at least 3 or 4 times. And then remember, get a wide shot, get back as far as you can, do a push, come in on it. You noticed a few times when they were looking at something, we push in the camera on what they're looking at, never getting right up against it, but drawing the attention subconsciously of the viewer to what other people are looking at. Okay, in this particular one, there's a lot of action going on again. You know, we're showing what it takes to get down into the system, and it's fast. Again, we're cutting down. Now we're getting down to the bottom. All of these are transitions. They're taking us to tell the story.
You've never seen a 5-gallon bucket do that before.
On the bottom here, we're going to find an axe, and in a few minutes, again, here, come here, I want to show you something.
Debris pile from
and
the
then,
collapsed roof of the cave.
Picking up pottery. When we find the axe, you're going to see 3 different cutaways on that axe.
We need to share this find with Dr. Guitar.
Portisub was a drinking bottle.
We begin to find gourds that were used to haul up drinking water.
Hey, John, look at this. This one looks like it was dropped here yesterday.
Amazingly, many are intact and still wrapped in twine. A delicate basket lays perched on a bed of branches. Eat. Richie finds a weapon.
It's a workbook.
It was said to be deadly in the hands of an experienced Taino warrior. Was it offered up as a sacrifice? A plea for favor in battle with the Spaniards? Embedded with what looks like a carefully shaped and polished piece of larimar, a semi-precious blue gemstone found only in the mountains of the Dominican Republic.
That would be a
Okay, and I think we've got a little of the bomber, yeah. And now you're going to see the difference between the QuickTime images.
In the Mojave Desert.
There's excitement in the water, as 9 had been modified to
See
fill
the
its
difference
new
in the
role
lighting
as a
from
flying laboratory.
one camera system to the other?
All guns have been, and our own video survey of the wreck itself.
The rudder, right above the numbers.
Luckily, those numbers are still clearly visible. 5, 2, 1, 8, 4, 7.
And again, right there, showing the numbers. Being dynamic with it, whatever it is, whether it was the name on the side of the ship or in this case the numbers, instead of just being wide with the numbers, we're forcing you to read them. It works well because the narrator in this case is reading them as we're traveling. But again, you're using the camera, you're going to edit this stuff, and it could be anything. It could be the label outside the dive shop. Moving it across forces the person to read. You're making them do their work. You're making them read it. Every one of you subconsciously followed the camera and read those numbers, and if there wasn't audio, you would have read them in your mind because the camera wanted you to do it. Whereas if you pull back, you just see numbers. So it's interesting little tricks.
This serial number now allows us to track the history. We set the remotely operated vehicle free to enter. Perhaps soon the answer will be.
And again, cutaways, again, you see that you had the wide shot with the diver with the ROV. Then we went right now to the diver's POV. This is the diver's view as he lets go of it. In a second, we're going to see the POV or point of view of the ROV.
John
This is the
Simroff
submarine
can't find the sun
looking
tracker.
inside the airplane.
Or a secret research
and then, of course,
mission
that's
in
the camera of it,
1948
which
will be
is very bad
solved.
resolution, and the pilot's crashing into everything. He was terrible. I wasn't the pilot. And here, finally, I believe, is the one where we had the mine. And what we're doing here is we're about to lay a plaque down in honor of the sailors who lost their lives. So you've got the wide shot of the diver. You're showing him place down the plaque. In a second, we're going to spin around. Exactly. We've got movement. And I think that he pushes in. Yeah, he pushes in just a little bit. Unfortunately, there was those little things in front of it. And here's another example of a reveal. We're seeing the wreck. We've got wreckage, and we come around, and all of a sudden, there's a diver in the scene. He's coming by, and depending on what we want to do, we can either go over to the diver or have the diver push into us. Now here we find we're talking about the mines that sank the ship are still here. A diver comes by and goes, oh my gosh, there's the mine. So as you can see, as you're narrating, and you've got the reveal in it, you've got the diver coming in and being like, oh, I don't want to get near that, that could blow up, you know. So it's telling a story. And then there's other neat things that you can do. Again, I'm not a big guy for animal life. It's way too difficult. They move like these jellyfish. But backlighting the sun here with these divers and the jellyfish, you can achieve some really pretty cool imagery. And with that, that pretty much kind of ends this workshop. I'd like to open it up if you guys have any questions. A lot of this stuff is playing. Play with your camera. Shoot so much film and then come back and look at your film. And the other thing that I bet none of you do is actually log your film. How many of you watch your film and write down the time code of what you have, what images you have? In edit, that's going to help you immeasurably. If you write down a small paragraph, that last video clip that we just looked at would say at 5:25 to 6:10, diver leaves the wreck, swims to mine, reveals mine. Well, if you don't have that somewhere, what are you going to do? Scan through all your video later to look for it and edit it? So one of the things that we do, no matter what the job is, and again, it's not necessarily a job for you, it's about fun. And whatever that is, it could be a day on the rib, it could be a day diving with my friends. Storyboard your shot list. I gave you a quick one. I gave you one where I detailed loading the boat. I talked about the boat leaving the harbor. I got different camera angles on the rib. I got different camera angles on the people on the boat. And that's just right here, not even writing it down. You can, not necessarily script it. There's a difference between scripting and storyboarding. Storyboards turn into what you call a shot list. You specifically go out and achieve those shots so that later you can take those shots by your storyboard and put them together. And that's going to make a difference. You and your friends will be amazed at what you'll be able to do. But of course, it comes down to shooting in focus and taking the lens cap off, so don't forget that. So if anybody has any questions, because if not, I'm going to the bar, and you're more than welcome to buy me a beer or two. Nobody has any questions? Well, I'm looking forward to seeing your work over the next couple of days and diving with you. And I really want to thank you all for having me here. I'm having a great time in Portugal. Thank you very much. Do you like it?
Yeah.